Hey guys, how's it going? I am doing so good today. Thank you so much for watching Holistic Honey. You guys are getting videos from me every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on self-care. So I want to jump right into this topic on mewing and tongue posturing so that you guys can kind of get a little more in depth on what it is. Since I did do a 2-month update of what my face was kind of looking like, maybe like almost a month ago I did a video on it. I just wanted to kind of give you guys some facts for if you have never heard of tongue posturing before. You can just basically go ahead and get started. I want to go ahead and say that I hope that everyone takes something from any of these videos and to know that all you're trying to do is just to improve your health and improve the way that you look. So I always go through the comments of other people's videos and I'm always like, oh my goodness, like everyone's like always attacking people. But literally, like, one thing that I really took from Dr. Mike Mew was that we all kind of just figure things out and we go along with it individually. I know in one video on his orthodontics channel, I think that's what it's called, he talks about how we all have different mouths, we all have different bodies, we all have a different way that our body is going to form. So to say that one way is the right way to do something is kind of crazy because we all kind of have a different journey. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. For me, this has definitely helped my health improve within, like, it's been the 3rd month now of me intentionally doing this. I also often mention to people that this is something that I have always done. I've always been conscious of literally everything that I do, including like the position of my tongue and my mouth. A lot of people told me in my last video like, oh, you're already attractive, so this didn't work. I want you guys to know that when it comes to being attractive, attractiveness is also equivalent to your health. So most people who are seen as attractive are usually healthy people. If you want to become attractive, then you really need to focus on your health and you need to kind of focus on, okay, like, what can I do to make myself like look better based off of maybe the foods that you're eating, the way that your posture is, the way that you kind of move in life. Like, all of that matters and all of that will be the determining factor of whether you are attractive or not. My first tip for you guys is I want you to go ahead and just do your research on what mewing is, because it will send you directly to Dr. Mew and he will be able to give you like all of the context behind tongue posturing. But I don't want you guys to complicate this. This is simple as knowing how to position your tongue and your mouth correctly so that you can basically develop the shape of your face better, like basically breathe better, sleep better, meditate better. Like, all of these things go into play when it comes to that. You wouldn't believe, like, something as simple as that. I know I also read some comments in my last video where everyone was kind of like, wow, I never heard of this before, or I never thought of this before. I never thought of it either. I simply just lived my life that way already, and then I noticed that when I started to do this intentionally, that the structure of my chin and my jawline just kind of started to connect where it wasn't connecting before. And I always kind of thought that I had like a long chin and that was just how it was. But I want to let you guys know that you can pretty much change anything about yourself. You can change your appearance, and a lot of what we look like has to do with our posture. Even when it comes to tongue posturing, you also want to make sure that you're thinking about all of your posture. Like, are you sitting upright? Are you like leaning into computers? Are you leaning into your phone? Like, all of that, it just kind of slumps you down. Like, there's a difference between this slump and like basically, you know, sitting upright. You look more confident, you look more attractive. So when people say like, oh, this will make you more attractive, those are the things that they're talking about too. They're not just talking about like this one technique is going to make you attractive and sexier. This became the stigma because a lot of people who are doing these videos are very attractive, and you know, they do have a shift in their life, and when you are more attractive, you are more confident anyways. It's just how that goes. One thing that I've noticed, I talked about in my last video, but I have seen a improvement in the alignment of my teeth, and I actually have always done like my own dental stuff more than going to the dentist. So I used to use these things called ortho bands, which actually like moved my teeth together, so I didn't have to pay like thousands of dollars to get braces. It was literally only like $12 on Amazon, and that was like years ago. And so I do have straight teeth. However, I do not have like a lined top row and bottom row, so I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll do this, but my top row is definitely, you know, an overbite is what people, or what it would be called if you go to the dentist. So I do have an overbite, and so what mewing has helped me do is just be very conscious. So all you have to do is make sure that you are placing your tongue at the very top of your mouth, but you want to focus on the back of your tongue. That is where you'll feel the exercise portion of it. At first when you do this, you'll feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything at all, but what you want to do is make sure that you feel that muscle here, right here. You want to make sure that you feel it working. And so when I learned that, I actually learned that from Judy Neptune, and she's my friend and she has a video on this as well, but once she taught me that you had to do that and pay attention to the muscle moving back and forth here, you can definitely feel the difference in the pressure. You can definitely feel that you are doing it. So a common question is am I doing this right? You are doing it right when you feel that. It's not a pressure that you're straining yourself, but it should be this feeling like an exercise within your mouth. And also look up face yoga as well. So I do a lot of that. So a lot of people who are interested in this goes deep into it and they start doing a lot of other things to their face. A lot of times people say mindful eating, like basically chewing your food correctly and making sure that you're really paying attention to your oral health. All of that is going to be inclusive in basically changing the bone structure of your face, getting rid of the fat in your face more, and just having a more defined and younger look. You guys to also understand that there's so much research being done on this right now. So when you read comments or people kind of go back and forth of what's the correct way to do it, you want to make sure that you know that this is a newer discovery for a lot of people. And there's going to be a lot of different studies, a lot of different other orthodontists are kind of jumping on this idea and trying to research so that they can either combat Dr. Mew or they can add to him and his theory. If you look at his videos, he does say like, hey, we're all different people, so don't take this as your holy grail. This is how you're going to live your life. I want you guys to also take the time to research the difference between being attractive and being healthy, and I want you guys to really look at how synonymous they are and to kind of tap into those little beauty hacks, especially when it comes to your dental health, because everything that's kind of connected around your mouth is connected within your eyes, your hair, it's connected within the back of your neck, your back, your shoulders. All of this area kind of works together. So if you fix one thing, you're helping another thing and you're helping another. And that is something really important to take away from tongue posturing. But I basically do this like all day long consciously, and it helps me to be mindful. It actually helps you to stop thinking because you're so focused on making sure that you're, you know, doing it every chance that you get. A lot of people ask like, can you do this when you're talking? I make sure that when I talk that my tongue is hitting like the roof of my mouth and make sure that that is what's happening versus like me just kind of leaving it hanging. But you have to be very conscious of your own mouth. You can't just like be looking at other people's mouths like they're not doing it right, because you know you have to do what works for you. And then if you see results, which a lot of people do, which I have seen results, then you know that you're doing it right, and I would continue doing it. But again, you want to be very careful and make sure that you have kind of studied up on it, because you could be doing it wrong and it can actually cause like long-term basically health loss, and you want to make sure that you are good to go and you're not doing more harm than good. If you are new to this, I want you guys to just focus on placing your tongue at the top of your mouth. It feels normal for me, so it might feel normal for you, and focus on the back of your tongue pushing up more like a wave. So when you go and you put your tongue out and you go and put it on the top of your mouth, just have it roll back like a wave. I don't even know if that makes sense, and I don't know if I look silly doing it on camera for you guys. So there's definitely a million videos out there about it, but I will say that the most change that I've seen is like my sleep and me being able to sleep better and breathe through my sleep and not kind of grind my teeth. And usually I would wake up sometimes with my teeth even bleeding because of the pressure I was putting on my teeth. And that's something I also want to address. In my last video, I was like, you want to clench your teeth together. I didn't mean clench like just pressure, but like just kind of lightly have your teeth apart. You have your teeth like lightly like that. You also want to make sure your tongue is about half, like a little bit half away from that, like from your teeth. I hope that makes sense, but because it's gonna feel more comfortable for you, and you're gonna feel that your mouth isn't as crowded, and it's just gonna become normal for you over time as you keep doing it. So just keep doing it, guys, because it will just be good for you over time. You'll see. And if anything, if you find that it doesn't help you at all, which I don't really know that it won't help you, but if you find that it doesn't help, then just don't do it. Maybe seek out more like orthodontist help if you're having like trouble with your mouth or with the shape of your face. But I want you guys to kind of do this before you think about like plastic surgery or redoing your face, and I want you guys to know that like you can totally do